Welcome to Out of Order. I'm Marcus. Got a repair here that I think is fairly common, and we're gonna replace the transformer on Star Wars Episode 1, the Neon Lightsaber. So I'm gonna show you what it's doing now. Okay, so the playfield is up, and this is our neon tube. In here is the transformer that powers the neon. This is like a 12 volt connector or 14 whatever, you know, and it kind of actually is variable. So if I take my multimeter here, so it's hard to see, but there it is. So you can see it's holding at 14 and it kind of drops. See how it's going down like that? That's normal. What that does is it creates like a flicker effect on the lightsaber, kind of like a glowing, pulsing. So when we hook it up, it is currently working. Like see how it's pulsing like that? Now, how it just turned off, I think that's a failure on the transformer. It does work sometimes, but the more it's left on, the more it doesn't want to work. So I have a replacement transformer. I ordered this, I forgot where. It was about $60 shipped. Took me a while to find it. Ventec VT1510-12. And I don't think it's actually going to fit inside of this. So I think we'll have to mount it inside the playfield and then run the wires up to it. The only thing is I'm not sure if the polarity on these high output wires matter, so I'm going to be very careful. Everywhere I'm looking doesn't actually identify positive or negative, so maybe it's converting it to AC and I'm not aware. I think that might be it. I don't know. So I'm going to remove this. I've got one screw loosened. This is going to come out. This is riveted, so I'm going to have to drill out those rivets. And remove the old transformer, check it out, and then we'll try and do some testing before we actually wire it up so we don't blow anything. All right, so here's the rivets. I've got it removed, so I'm gonna have to drill those out and take that off. You can see too that one wire goes along the inside and that goes to the tip. And that is correct. I'm just not sure which wire's which, so anyway, I'm going to drill it out and see what we can figure out. So I thought I'd better show you guys how to get these rivets off the easiest way. Now you may have your own way, but this one was a little challenging. The other ones came off easier after I figured out a method. The problem is if you're drilling them out, the drill will start to stick on the rivet and then spinning, and so it's pointless. So what works really well is taking a small Dremel like this and, you know, grinding out the center pin. And then once that gets down to a certain point, you can use some needle nose pliers to just pull off this washer, you know, and then drill and it'll come right out. So that's how I'm doing this. It also looks like it may be glued, unfortunately, along this. So I'll have to pry that apart. Hopefully nothing breaks. So far we're looking good. All right, so that method with the rivets worked really well. This separator was barely needed. It was just like sort of holding on some of the plastic pieces anyway. So now I've got the transformer there, which is interesting because it is the same brand. I didn't realize that. So that's cool. So the other thing is that these tabs need to come off. It looks like it can fit in there. So I'll need to grind those tabs off, which, you know, that's fine. And then I don't know which wire's what. I might be able to test this. It's pretty high voltage. It's, I think, up to 1500 watts. I'm not sure what the amperage is, but I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to check it out and see if I can figure out what's what. Maybe it doesn't matter for the output. 1500, 5 milliamps, so pretty low amperage. Yeah, anyway, pretty close. I might do a little testing here. Okay, so I removed the end of the DC in, and I marked the red wire, or the positive. In the book here, the manual it came with, it just says that the center pin is your plus. So the blue is my center pin, so I'll hook that up to this red terminal. And these, from what I can tell, it does not matter which one you use. Although, when I install this new one, I am going to use the top wire for this top piece. I don't think it matters because the tube just gets high volt. I don't know. I'm not really actually sure, but everywhere I'm looking, like here, it doesn't say anything about plus or, you know, negative or ground or anything like that. And then all through the manual, it doesn't say anything like that. So I don't think it does. I think that one wire runs to the end of the tube and one goes here. So that's what I'm going with. The other thing is that I just removed the tabs. So now it'll fit in there, I believe. So I'm gonna cut it close to here, cut it here, trim it back, and I'm going to try and solder them together. And then I'm gonna cut this and reattach it and solder that together. And we'll see if we can turn it on and not have an explosion. So I got it soldered together. I did some inline soldering there. So what I'm gonna do now is move this heat shrink tubing up. As long as it didn't get too hot, it might have. I'm gonna have to mess with that. I think it'll go. But I'm gonna slide that up over and melt it on. And I did solder this together, but I'm just gonna tape that because it's only DC 12 volts. Anyway, we're close. It works. It works. All right. So there it is, the new transformer powering it. It was pretty easy once I figured it out. Now I just used some zip ties because they're going to be hidden instead of the rivets, so I'm going to trim them. I just temporarily put them there just to test, you know. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap those, put it back in place. Yeah, so if you guys do this, I would just let you know it does appear that either one of the output is the same. It doesn't really matter, but I did, you know, use the top plug for the shorter wire. In other words, the one that was closer to the case. So there you go. It's gonna be pretty cool when it's back and working. It looks like it's doing pretty good. Came right on. So there you go, everyone. Star Wars Episode 1. Till next time, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna keep that shit retro by hanging out with Jar Jar Binks and playing pinball later on.